Hi everyone! Today we will be designing an earbud case. As you can see, this is our finished product where you can wrap your earbuds around the middle and then place the buds into the little hole cutouts at the top of the case. So let's get started. The first step is to drag in a cylinder from the toolbar and just drag it into your work plane. Now dimension this cylinder to be 64 by 41. And the height is going to be 5. Now drag in another cylinder, but choose the one that's a hole or a cutout. Dimension this one to be 60 by 37 with a height of 4. Now select both cylinders and hit align in the top right or press L on your keyboard. Choose the middle button on both sides, and then choose the top button for the height. Select Group, and now you've completed the base of your earbud case. Move that off to the side so we can continue working. We're next going to create the middle, so drag in another cylinder from the toolbar, but this time dimension it to be 16 by 10, and the height is going to be 15 millimeters. Repeat this step, but drag in a cylinder that's a hole instead, and dimension it to be 8 by 5 by 15. Now select both cylinders and click Align, and then choose the middle circle on both the X and Y axis. Select Group, and you've completed the middle portion of your earbud case. The final step is to design the top part. Drag in another cylinder and dimension this to be 23 by 16.22. Change the height to be 4 millimeters. Take this cylinder and copy it 3 times. To do this, you can either select Command or Control C and then V on your keyboard, or simply drag in more cylinders and redimension them to be the same size as the one we just made. You can see that I now have 4 cylinders of the same dimensions, and I'm going to convert 2 of them into holes. Drag in another cylinder that's a cutout, and dimension this one to be 19 by 12.22 with a height of 5. And copy this once so that you have 2 cylinders of that size. Now, select one smaller cylinder and one larger cylinder and choose Align. You're going to select the middle circle on both directions and then the top circle for the height. Now group both these shapes together. You're going to repeat the process with the remaining 2 holes or cutouts by pressing the center circle on both sides and the top circle for the height. And then you're going to group that as well. Our next step is going to involve using our 2 solid cylinders. Press Align, click the center circle on both sides. Then select one circle and move it down 8 spaces using your arrow keys. Group both cylinders together. Then select all 3 of these shapes and select Align. You can select the middle on both sides and then make sure that your solid shape is within the 2 holes. We're going to go into the top view of our design. Now try to move out the 2 holes to the best of your ability so that they're at the very edge of your solid shape. Then move each one in 6 spaces from the side using your arrow keys. Now we can go back to our default view and align everything at the top. And then we're going to ungroup this shape, convert the top into a hole, and then group these two shapes back together. Now convert this shape into a hole as well, and group this entire figure. Now move this off to the side so that we can finish creating the rest of our face. Drag in a solid cylinder from the toolbar and dimension this to be 64 by 41. The height on this shape should be 5 millimeters. Select both your cutout and your solid cylinder, and then you can align it wherever you'd like within your shape. This is where your earbuds are going to go within your face. I like to align them down the center and then bring it in a few spaces from the top. Now, drag in a box from the toolbar, making sure that it's a cutout, and dimension it to be 6 by 10 by 4. We can go back to our default view for this. Now drag in another box, that's a cutout as well, and dimension this one to be 8 by 10 by 5. Drag in a cylinder and dimension it to be 30 by 10 with a height of 5. Copy this shape once, but make the second one a hole instead of a solid. Align both shapes together in both directions, but then move the hole up one notch using your arrow keys. Group this shape together so you get this sliver, then convert this into a hole. Place the smaller box within your earbud case, the larger box and the sliver. And you can align all of these at the top so you can see all the pieces. Now we can use a top view and we can then align all our pieces together. I like to align them on the middle and then move this down a few notches, move the sliver to touch it, and then move this down as well. Feel free to position these pieces however you'd like. One thing to make a note of is that your holes are still connected to each other so you don't have any material remaining when you group it. So I'm going to go ahead and group my shape now, and you see that all of the material has been cut out. I can go back to default view, and you'll see that we've now created all three pieces of our earbud case. And so, this can be printed in 3 separate parts to make it easier, or in one piece. If you'd like to print 3 separate parts, you can stop here. Or if you'd like to combine it into one piece, all you have to do is move this to the center and align these two shapes and group. And then you're going to drag your face up by 15 millimeters. And then select these shapes, select the center on both sides, and group. And now you can see our finished product. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I'll see you on our next one. Thank you.